military. No, I think those were university or secondary school kids. They're pretty big though. They're pretty big though. They're pretty big though. They're pretty big though.
Seconds remaining. 4 seconds remaining. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Team back. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. 5 seconds remaining. Dire are scanning.
Okay guys, it's time for some action in the Asian Dragon series Continental Collision. Today we got the MongolZ with Castaway going up versus OG. I'm pretty excited to see DJ back in action, and OG, it's a bit of a new roster. I mean, Seb has taken a back seat. They've brought in a new offlaner. I think 23 Savage is still around, so it should be a fun series. Just looking at the draft very quickly, OG committing to a healthy amount of team fight. It's going to be Marcy playing the mid lane. Wait, am I mistaking? It's a Darkseid offlane. It's a Marcy and Chen support. So yeah. And if you look at MongolZ, they've just got so much control and like burst damage. They do struggle to go late game. I don't think they have enough damage if this game goes late. But it should be an exciting one. I'm looking at how the MongolZ can fill the gap of going Roshan and taking objectives, but nope, they just don't care. The MongolZ all about like instant team fight, going up versus OG's lineup, which has a little bit of everything, and also brings tempo to the game with the Monkey King, with the Marcy. So it should be a fun contest. It's good to see OG play in Southeast Asia. And it's good to see Seb back in action. He had taken a bit of a backseat, but everybody's favorite two-time TI winner, Seb, is back.
Prepare for battle.
Okay. This draft needs a little bit of a closer examination. So we've got Castaway playing support. This guy did play in India briefly, the country that I'm from. He did play with Entity back then. And last I remember, he used to play in the offlane. And he's played mid as well. So it's interesting to see him come all the way to the pos 5 role. It's not something you see too often, but him and DJ do make quite a commendable pair of supports, and I think they've got the experience between the two of them to make this a possible upset. Now, this is a best of 3, so anything is possible. I have to wait and watch to see how this goes. For now, though, the Mongols, they popped a level 1 smoke. It's DJ leading the charge. He's got himself a blood grenade if he needs to get that slow off. Don't think anybody from the side of OG will be caught out by the smoke. For OG, they've all rotated bottom and they're camping behind the safe lane tier 1 tower, waiting for any core or support to show in this part of the map. For now, there will be a peaceful exchange of bounty runes. 2 apiece, no big surprises. Both teams pop rather extreme smokes, but they don't get anything. Seb is playing the Darkseid. He's going to be in the offlane, and here, this is where they might bump into someone. The Tiny is making his way down bottom. Q has got to be careful. He's got Castaway by his side, and I don't think Seb and Days are going to try anything too crazy now. The time's gone. Up top, we've got the Life Stealer, who's being supported by Chen. X-Nova playing the Chen. What creep has he gone for? The Satyr. So the mana burn is there. So over time, JG is not going to get much out of lane. He's just going to be burned out of lane. His mana being destroyed completely. Days trying to get the pull off. Does take a fair amount of damage. Castaway does get disposed, and Days should be okay. We'll get the creep pull, and you need stuff like that so that Seb can farm peacefully under this lane. If the Lich and the Tiny do focus their attention towards Seb, there is a good chance that they can kick him out of lane even if they don't kill him. 23 Savage, he's managed to get the creep wave dragged behind his tier 1 tower. So he should be farming peacefully. Mid lane, Lina versus Monkey King. This is where I think we will see the lane go in favor of the Mongols. The Lina should be able to kick 9 out of lane, but the Monkey King is a pseudo range hero, if you want to call him that. So for now, though, 9 is doing pretty well. He's got 4 denies, 4 more than DLT. He's pretty happy with where things are in his lane. Doesn't get the range creep. It's almost as if I cursed him. And X-Nova is sending his Saturn mid, ensuring that DLT is low on mana. So even though X-Nova doesn't really need to offer too much up top, he's ensuring that mid goes in favor of 9. So I really like this. Another 30 seconds and there'll be another creep heading the way of the mid lane, burning TLT's mana. Down bottom, reasonably peaceful start. Both offlaners doing okay. Seb has got the creep wave where he wants it. He should be farming. There's not much Castaway can do right now. And Daze doesn't need to do much either. There's no real kill potential between the Marcy and the Darkseid unless they drop their Iron Shells and somehow manage to get the jump on Castaway. Once we see a couple of points in vacuum, maybe at around level 4, a point in vacuum, there's a possibility that 7 days can try and pull off something in this offlane. DLT has to make a base trip though, so that is really unpleasant. Lina versus Monkey King, you don't see the Lina go back like this, and a lot of it has to do with the Chen. So DLT did have his mana burn, but he says enough is enough, I'll just go base and come back. He's also got himself a bottle and a clarity, so this time the Satyr is not going to really make that much of an impact. So this is where X-Nova Shen starts to fade off. Like, he's got the initial advantage for 9, but from here on out, 9 has got to try and win this lane by himself. Down bottom, 7 days. Trying to pull the creeps. Who got the 3-minute Lotus? Well, yeah, it's with Seb. Seb has it. Seb probably going for a Soul Ring nice and early. Okay, he went for the infused raindrops, which is good versus the Lich. And the wand. And now they're gonna dive Castaway. The rebound is there. Castaway's got himself the armor. But they will dispose him. And they should get the kill, the vacuum there. But the avalanche. Buying a little bit of time for Castaway. Does Castaway get away with this? Jeez. That shouldn't be happening. AOMQ does miss a lot of CS though. That's the real problem. Up top, X-Nova caught in the cogs. Probably gonna get dived. The Infernal Blade is there and they'll get the kill. First blood going the way of MongolZ as JG gets the kill. Does 9 get the punish though? 23 Savage has the raid, so he's okay. The battery assault doesn't bother him. JG dies and 9 with a 4-minute rotation is actually having impact, pulling this lane back for the side of OG. He's still got the Jingu mastery going, and as it tips off, he gets the last hit and the kill onto DJ. What a value rotation coming out from the Monkey King. It's almost as if Thompson never left OG in the first place. Well, OG did give up first blood, but 9 gets 2 extremely valuable kills. In my head though, I'm just doing the math to see how many TIs have OG won in total. So Seb, amongst all the players is what I meant. So Seb has 2 and 9 has 1. I don't think X-Nova has won a TI. If I'm not mistaken, the only Malaysian player to win a TI was Chuan. So that's it. So that's 3 TIs. Castaway did rotate, placed an observer ward behind the tower, and then just went back. Interesting. Castaway's done pretty well for himself. I mean, there's not much he can do about these pulls. One of the best heroes you could have to really try and stop these pulls would be the Pain. You just nightmare the enemy and the creeps reset the aggro and they just go back to lane. But yeah, I don't think Castaway can really do all that much. He's been doing his best to pull the small camp, try and pull back equilibrium. Again, having said that though, Tiny's the kind of hero that doesn't need too much in terms of resources to do well in lane. And yeah, AMQ is doing okay. He's got his threats complete. Just wants a couple of levels and then he'll be moving about looking for fights. DLT's rotated top. They want X-Nova. The thermal runway. They end with the Laguna. They'll get the kill. X-Nova, a punching bag of OGs. 23 Savage can't really do all that much. And 9 making a rather weird rotation as a melee dire creep on a cloud wants a 7-minute wisdom rune, but DJ is waiting and he's just gonna get out of there. Can DLT find the punish though? Nope. 9 quick enough with the primal spring and the 3 downs to get away. So 1 wisdom rune for DJ and the side of the Mongols, and OG still have the wisdom rune standing. Days did move mid to try and get some EXP, maybe even try and make a play. It's a bit interesting that the side of Mongols haven't really tried to see if there is a possibility of them stealing the wisdom rune. It's not an objective on their mind for now. X-Nova is going to rotate. It seems as if inside of OG want to collapse on this Tiny. It's going to be hard, but they're bringing 4 heroes, and this is what they need if they want to bring down the Tiny. They've got this observer ward. Seb is pretending as if he's just skipping the creeps, and there they go. The rebound there. 1 avalanche does manage to clip on a tree, but the slows from the ghost as well as the satyr are just a bit too much, and Seb gets credit for that kill as OG do manage to bring down the enemy position 1 Tiny, and now they look to attack this tower. Looks as if Castaway and TJ want to try and find the mid tower. They're pushing out the lane. Both teams do not have their glyph. OG are most certainly getting this tower. And 23 Savage is farming peacefully in the top lane. Not much the Doom can do just yet. He's not level 6. Yeah, it looks as if Castaway and the boys will inflict a good amount of damage And actually, AMQ's come back to defend. So OG do not get that tier 1 top for all their efforts. Maybe they go again, and that's what 9 wants. He's moving bottom. This time the Radiant do get a scan. DJ places the Observer, spots the Monkey King. But the Monkey King's already connected with 23 Savage. The open wounds are there. The Jingle stacks are building up. The Avalanche is decent. And with the Cogs, I think Tiny's got enough to get away. But 23 Savage still pursuing. The wall committed by Seb. There's no vacuum to follow up. But with the rebound and the dispose, they pull back the Tiny. 4 stacks of Jingo have come together. And now they come with the Wukongs. The Doom is there on 23 Savage. But 23 Savage dies. AOQ turns it around with a toss and a couple of auto attacks. As the Doom was more than enough. OG thwarted in their efforts in bringing down this Tiny and the Star, and Seb now has to TP away from the trees, and luckily he just manages to get away. Oh, that's got to be painful. I mean, 23 Savage moving to the enemy safe lane and still not getting the kill. And now OG have to reset. In fact, 23 Savage died for all his efforts over there. So this is twice that OG have tried to kick Tiny out of the lane, and it just hasn't worked. Castaway just nuking down the Chen creep. AMQ's got in a lot. He's sitting at the top of the net worth charts, did get kills, did not end up dying. He's been farming peacefully. He's making progress towards his Echo Saber. Don't tell me he has it. He's just flying out a TP, excuse me. He's gone for the Soul Ring. Has the treads. Didn't go for the face boots. Felt like the stats on the treads were more important. And yeah, I mean, look at this. He's sitting with 1800 HP and 12 points of armor essentially. So this man is not easy to take down, despite OG having this Observer Ward scouting his movements. I really don't think they should try and go on him. He's close to his outpost. His supports and his cores can rotate. The real question is, what are DJ and the others up to? I mean, Castaway is actually sitting mid. They're all sitting around DMT. DLT. DMT being a substance I once took. Yeah, they're all sitting around DLT. The rocket flare is there. And yeah, feels like OG are wasting a lot of time on the map. And not really getting too much. AMQ loses his tower, but I don't think he's too bothered. He survived 2 gangs. They got a kill on the Life Stealer. The Doom is doing well for himself. He's got his drums and his phase. The Arcane Boots. He's got the Doom ready. And he's going towards the Sanj and Yasha. Interesting. DLT's got his Boots of Travel. And now he makes progress towards his Aghanim Scepter. It's in general, it's been a positive start for the Mongols, but still early days. I mean, we're just 12 minutes in. One would assume that, you know, the pressure's on OG with a Chen and a Monkey King to try and be active, but they've got late game insurance. The Monkey King scales, the Marcy scales, the Wall of Replica. Oh, mid lane, hookshot committed, 9 in the cogs, eats a Laguna Blade. He's trying to run, drops the Boundless, and he's got 23 Savage by his side. The Chain Frost committed, 23 Savage just jumps into 9, but with the Doom, 9 is most certainly going down. Elsewhere, the Marcy trying her best to bring down the Lich will get the kill. Wall committed, rebound there from Daze. They want the Doom now. JG dropping low will fall, and DJ with the cogs ensures he's dead as well. It's a triple kill for Daze. The Marcy with the Unleash finding kill after kill. As finally things start to show up in favor of OG.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That has got to be one of the most valuable unleashes you can ever expect from your position for Marcy, especially 13 minutes in. She's gone for the sidekick, right? Like, I mean, the bodyguard passive. Yeah.
Is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
23 Savage going for the Radiance. Nothing too surprising. I presume after the Radiance he goes for his Axe Scepter. The Axe is really nice versus the Chain Frost, versus the Lena, disarms her. Castaway and the others are getting some big stacks prepared. I mean, I guess this is for the Tiny after his Echo Saber. Now, I'm curious to see where the Tiny goes from here. He's got the Echo Saber. Does he go Shard into more of a right-click build? Does he feel like he needs a Blink or a Phylactery? There are many paths for a position 1 Tiny. Clearly, being aggressive and fighting early on has not been his plan. And it seems to be that they want this Tiny to farm and scale. So I'm really curious to see where this Echo Saber goes from here. JG still going for that Sanj and Yasha. He's got the facet which allows him to, I don't know, claim a refund on some of his items. I'm curious to see what he refunds. Probably the drums, which is why... Yeah, it is the drums. Might eat through all those charges and then get a refund. It's a great item to have with the Devil's Bargain. Xnova is having mic issues. DJ's got his urn complete. And he's building towards the Spirit Vessel, which is really useful versus the Marcy, the Monkey King, the Chen. Even probably Seb who goes for a mech, and yeah, Seb has already got his mech complete. Three-man smoke coming out from the Mongols. DLT gets a smoke pop. I mean, it needs a hook shot, and it needs DLT to be able to do damage in that hook shot for them to make something of this. DJ. Okay, there you go. They commit the Chain Frost and the Sinister Gaze. 23 Savage has nothing he can infest into. 9 is making his way towards him, but silenced by the Doom. I think 23 Savage is dead. There is no Hand of God. Elsewhere, another fight brewing as it's Daze again with the Unleash and 9 with the Boundless Strike. They get 2 kills. Sure, they lose 23 Savage, but the others on the side of OG are making this more than worth it. Surge applied, 9 just running down JG here. The rebound does miss, but they should be able to find the Doom. They should, right? The Dispose is there. Okay, they seem to be a bit confused, and Tiny comes in. Avatars, and with the tree throw, he will find the kill onto 9, and now he could look for more. He's got a toss in 2 seconds. Xnova most certainly dead. The Frost Shield is slowing him down. And with the Tiny's rotation and the amplified damage rune, they find a couple of crucial kills. Can they find Seb? The toss is there, interrupts the surge. Now with the avalanche and one more auto attack, they will find the kill onto Seb as well. AOMQ on a killing spree. The man has rotated and single-handedly set up for 3 crucial kills. All 3 cores on the side of OG ended up dying in that fight. And now the Mongols can take what they rightfully came for, the tier 1 top. 23 Savage has moved in back top, and I think JG's overextended a bit too much in the middle of nowhere. Blocked by a Monkey King and a Lifestealer. JG will fall. They get the tier 1 top, but the Doom just really went a bit too far forward, and he got punished for it. Okay, another fight brewing. Castaway does manage to get the kill for himself, and that's a big dominating streak. Tiny did burst down the Marcy, and Castaway was there. Sinister Gaze committed. Another Chain Frost toss being used on the 23 Savage, and I hear a hook shot. I think DJ might actually weave through and find 23 Savage. Castaway is unfortunately lagging though, so they had to call for a pause. And well, looks like we're back, and 23 Savage caught in the hook shot. The avalanche is there. The Chain Frost is beautiful. Sure, 23 Savage infests into the Chen, but he's coming out into the Cogs, surrounded by 4 heroes. He's most certainly going down. He barely gets away. The Rage keeps him alive, and now 9 with the Wukong's command does some serious work on the DJ. Can AOMQ go back in? He wants to. He blinks forward. The Avalanche doesn't connect. Days there with that movement speed buff for 9 as 9 does escape. They lose X-Nova on the Chen. But the good news is that 23 Savage didn't end up dying. And they didn't bleed any further kills because those cogs in that hook shot could have been more for the side of the Mongols. Luckily it isn't. JG, he's gone for the Veil and now he's moving towards the Shiva's Guard. Okay. See, this makes sense. That Sanjanyasha I couldn't explain, and I don't know if he's just memeing. But yeah. 3-man smoke coming out from the side of the Mongols. They're playing as if they're in the driver's seat, and they are by a small margin of 1,000 gold, but that's about it. DG's now got the completed Spirit Vessel. That's definitely going to help us with the Monkey King and the Chen heals. They're moving bottom towards the Lotus Pool. TLT does show under an Observer Ward, but OG with the smoke of their own. They're moving top. They're actually pinging Roshan. OG are moving towards the Rosh Pit, and there's a slim chance that the Mongols might be there waiting for them. It really depends as to who jumps onto who. DJ misses the hook shot, gets the cog. Seb right in the middle of it. Drops the wall. The good news is that the Mongols have managed to really take the fight away from the wall. Daze goes in with the rebound, wants DJ. Boundless Strike committed, they should find the Clockwork. The Clockwork dead. The rest of the Mongols out of there. I mean, DLT is pushing out bottom. They're more than happy to give up the Aegis. AOMQ, he's going mid. He's got his Blink Dagger complete. He's had it for a while. And yeah, with the Unleash, this should be a quick Roshan for the side of OG. Aegis probably going to 23 Savage. And immediately he TP's mid. TLT didn't get this tier 1 tower that he was looking for. Oh, mid lane. They've gone in. They want 23 Savage. They want to take the Aegis out of his hands. They did hold on to the Doom though. So this is an issue. Like, unless the Tiny's there, towers aren't really falling, and the Lina can't do all that much to that tier 1 tower all by herself. Tiny was a bit occupied farming mid. I mean, in an ideal world, Mongols would have liked to trade Roshan for an objective like a tower, but they couldn't. They didn't get an objective. They're not in position to take the Tormentor. It's okay. They're just a bit slow. And they were hoping to get 23 Savage mid, but they couldn't. Now OG will take the Tormentor. Oh, X-Nova. Okay. Hand of God committed. X-Nova gets the shot, while at the same time the Mongols manage to mirror their movement. DJ getting the shot. The jetpack, which is just handy for him to cog and get out. Somewhat good versus the OG roster. Just allow him to hook shot and get away for free in a sense. He did die, if I'm not mistaken, so he's got that one Spirit Vessel charge that he needs. Let's see if anything comes of it. OG, they have the Aegis, but this seems to be a farming Aegis, as they're all farming. Seb has been just exclusively farming. Mech, pipe, seems to be a relaxed pub in terms of the OG tempo. And that's not too bad for them. I mean, as the game progresses, the pressure does indeed build upon this Tiny to deal DPS. It's him and the Lina. The Lina is going to target one hero. DLT's got to be careful. He's showing. OG won this tower. And 9's going to be the bait. I mean, by bait I mean the hero that sits in, hits the tower. The Chen creeps are dying. I mean, the Frost Shield from the Lich is not making this easy for OG. OG hold their ground. 23 Savage buffed. by the Marcy, wants to take the start. AMQ goes in with the toss. It's on the 9. The LSA doesn't land, but the Doom is there. With the Laguna, they should find the Monkey King. 9 dead. Now they look towards 23 Savage. Daze, he's got the Unleash. He's kick punching the Doom, but there's the Lina with the damage, assisted by the Tiny as AMQ gets a double kill. Seth from the high ground drops the wall. He has no mana. What's he planning to do with this? 23 Savage respawns, rages, and TP's out of there. Can Seb get out? Well, they've got X-Nova and the Cogs. They'll deal with the Chen first and then maybe look towards the Darks here. The Shiva's God will slow down Seb as he's stunned by the LSA, burns to the Dragon Slave and ends up dying. It's a fight played to perfection by the Mongols as OG force a tower with the Aegis and get punished heavily. Beautiful stuff coming out from the Tiny and the Lina. I mean, both of them just playing around each other to perfection here. I think an Avatars with an Axe Dragon Slave is just so much damage. It actually really makes it easy to bring down heroes like the Monkey King and whatnot. And you saw in that fight, the Monkey King was doomed, was Laguna'd and died. He's got the Maid Slayer, but it doesn't make much of a difference. And 9 is now just going for a BKB. He's like, what else? Honestly. 23 Savage.
Radiant are scanning.
After the Radiance, he's going for the Sanjanyasha. And then the Agnum Scepter. There is a very strong case for Lincoln Spheres in this game. Versus the Doom, versus the Lina. Okay, now Seb's got his blink. Seb can make plays. We've seen this man on the axe. Let's watch him on the docks here. Okay, surges up. He sees the Tiny. Moving towards AMQ. Blinks in. Drops the wall. Has to back him if he needs it. The Avalanche there. And there's the rebound. They found the Tiny. They'll punch him in the armpit with the Unleash. That's Tiny dead. His Mega Kill streak taken away. Daze surged ahead by the Darkseers looking for more. But the Doom there with the stun will slow down the Marcy, and the Marcy pops a BKB and looks forward, doesn't find anything. 9, trying to poke at the Lina, eats a Laguna Blade, has the Boundless Strike to get out. And at the end of it all, OG, they get a kill, they get the Tiny, they get his Mega Kill streak. And Seb reveals his Blink Dagger.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now OG are positioning towards bottom. But they're not committing because they know that the Tiny is respawning. So it's a very disciplined disconnect or disengage rather from the side of OG as they fall back. Probably wait to play around the next Roshan. For now, they're twin gating up top. I think 9 just wants to farm this. Not sure what Daze is looking for. He's got his BKB. You have got to remember that the Marcy is a core right now with this BKB. She Unleash in BKB, if she gets on top of the Lina, Lich, anyone, could be massive problems for the side of the Mongols. DJ, he's TP top as well.
Radiant's top tower is under
Unfortunately, missed his hook shot in the previous fight. Maybe this time around he can get something done.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Daze and 9 are just moving around the map so quickly. They're not always on the money, but sometimes they're almost just like a minute behind when it comes to catching the side of the Mongols snoozing on the side lanes. But I like this. I like these rapid swings through the twin gate, hoping to find a kill, hoping to find something. So far it hasn't netted them much. They is looking for that blink and the skull basher.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I mean,
under
once
attack.
he just blinks in, if he gets there, even without that, just the rebound is sufficient for now. Can quickly bring down Castaway. Anyone nearly. So Rosh is respawning in a minute. Until then, OG with the rally will apply pressure on this tier 2 tower. They'll pop their glyph and that's a free tier 2 tower for them.
Bottom tower has
Mongols grouping up in the top side of the map, feeling pressure to return the favor. AMQ after the Echo Saber and the Blink has a Sanjanya to complete, and with the Solar Crest, he actually brings down the tower. Both teams taking the opposite sides of the map. And as the side of Mongols go into the fog of vision, they're immediately going to start teeping down bottom. I think OG should know that something's up. They do, in fact. And Castaway. Oh my god. I was taking some serious damage. The Tiny and the Lina are still up top. Both teams in this weird game state where nobody's calling each other's bluff. It's the Mongols who are trying to rotate mid. Looking at DJ to find the jump. 9. Not using the tree dance for any additional vision. Oh, DJ. This is not good. Daze finds him. He's got himself the Ghost Scepter. That's going to allow him to get out. Daze has managed to threaten him with the disposal. There's Oak Shot. They go on the Marcy. They burst out the Marcy. Now they look towards Seb. The Sinister Gaze is there. Chain Frost committed. Quick Infest to make sure Seb stays alive. They drop the Doom on the dark side. He's out of the fight. Now the Tiny turns towards the Chen. Avatars. They'll bring down X-Nova. They're looking for more. The Rocket Flare there for Vision. And AOMQ there with the Avalanche. Seb dropping really low. Eats the LSA and dies. Bob dominating with the triple kill as the Mongols search forward looking for more. Can they find 23 Savage? Earthblade committed. The LSA connects. The Dragon Slave is there as well. It's so much magic damage. It's so much control. And AMQ there to finish off the job as the toss and a couple of auto attacks clean up on the Life Stealer. It's only 9 who lives at the end of all of this as the Mongols lose not a single hero in the process. And now AMQ is getting this tier 2 tower as well. And that fight might just allow the Mongols to move towards Roshan. Respawning in 10 seconds. They're pinging and it's a Roshan on their side of the map. DJ will push out the bottom lane. And just like that, Bob and the others, they've won a big fight and they might get the Aegis with it. Oh, the Lina knows. Does she? Oh, sure. She might have seen the Maid Slayer. Can DJ find the catch? He's fishing. He's fishing. They saw the Boundless Strike. Oh, DJ. Oh, the hook shot. Eclipse. They find 9. Can they cancel his TP? Yes, they can. 9. Oh, didn't have his BKB. Didn't BKB when he was TPing, rather. Now he BKBs. His tree dance continuously disabled. The LSA there. But he'll Boundless and reposition. The Laguna Blade though clips, and with the Spirit Vessel and Dragon Slave they've got enough. Elsewhere though, OG trying to force another fight altogether. They bring the Doom down low but they don't get the kill. The rebound there, so the Chain Frost doesn't do all that much. As OG do manage to threaten JG, they don't really find the kill, but they did lose 9. And the pings are coming through. They're pinging Roshan. They want to move in that direction. In fact, OG are getting there before the side of the Mongols. And they do it fast. With all their buffs. DJ gets vision. Rosh Rose. Can the Mongols answer? DJ's got himself the hook shot. Jetpacking over. Seb needs to try and disrupt this. The Shiva's Guard committed. Vision being provided by the Clockwork. The Doom walks into the pit. Drops the stop, but the vacuum there. Pulls 2 heroes out, but oh my god, this went horribly wrong for Seb. He vacuumed 2 heroes towards him and he ends up dying. Daze is dead. Now they look towards 23 Savages trying to run through the portal. JG clicks on the portal as well. They're going to have a chase around the edges of the map. They'll toss off the Doom who's there with the hoof stomp, and now they'll get 23 Savage. They'll punch him. They'll bring him down. They'll take away the Aegis and surely they'll kill him again. DJ lining up the cogs, knocks him about. The Sister Gaze there with the toss. They've got the damage. DJ getting credit for that kill as OG lose 4. Make that 5 as 23 Savage died twice. Feels as if 9 and OG really didn't get a chance to play off each other in that previous fight. Maybe, I mean, it makes sense to me as to why OG made that play, because they knew that there was this brief opportunity when they could sneak in a Roshan escape, and that vacuum, It only set up for 2 members of OG dying, although it was nearly the perfect play, vacuuming 2 players out of the rush pit, but unfortunately, it didn't seem to bother the Mongols too much. And when I'm looking at these OG fights, it just feels as if nobody's really threatening Bob. Nobody's threatening the Tiny. They need somebody to go on these 2 cores, because these 2 cores are the problem. They are the issue that OG do not have an answer to right now, as 32 minutes in, the Mongols are sitting with a 16,000 net worth advantage. JG gets himself the shard. The lead and the momentum only building for the Mongols. What? Bob just, with an amplified damage rune, finds Seb all by himself and gets the kill. Another smoke coming out from the side of the Mongols. They've got rockets. They know exactly what OG's up to. DJ's got himself the axe. That's why you see all these rocket flares. Daze gets himself the shard. The real question is, will anybody from OG be able to escape? Can DJ line up the hook shot? Nope, he can't. Can look towards X-Nova. He's going to do just that. Hook shot committed. He's got the Spirit Vessel. Wants the Chen. X-Nova has a 4-staff. Does manage to get away. DJ stays alive with the Ghost Scepter, but AMQ there with the flank. Avatos manages to bring down the Chen. Can he escape though? He's got a Nullifier upon him. It's both the cores on the side of OG trying to bring down this Tiny. Sinister Key is committed. Daze dropping really low. He'll pop his beak AB. Oh, the crit. The crit from Tiny doing a lot, but it's actually Bob who cleans up. Gets 2 crucial kills, and AMQ connects for the 3rd as 923 Savage and Daze end up falling, and no one, literally no one from the side of the Mongols has died for that. Feels like Seb was just on the wrong part of the map altogether. I felt like he needed to connect with his team, but he's also got to deal with this top lane pushing in. I mean, maybe if he was with his team, they wouldn't be losing a lane of barracks. OG, they've got buyback on the Marcy, the lifesteal, and the Chen, but they aren't going to commit it. They'll be okay. Might probably look to fight after this tier 3. Okay, after the melee barracks. Okay, they're not fighting. I mean, I thought what I meant was that the structures would last a little bit longer and OG would be back to fight by then, not buy back and fight. Anyways, they pop their glyph. DJ just dealing with the top creep wave. Assaulting a creep wave from another lane. 1 melee creep has made it. JG will deal with it. Seb TPing to the top outpost. This is interesting. He's got the lifestealer invested inside of him. Seb and 23 Savage trying to make a play. He has got the blink dagger. Can he find a valuable core kill? Something that buys OG time. The scan did clip. They know where Bob is. Seb blinks forward. 9 there with the primal spade. Gets hexed. Oh, and gets deleted. Bob beyond godlike turns that in a matter of seconds. The hex, the Eth Blade, the Laguna. And that was OG trying to make a play, and now they lose the core. Daze, he's smoked. I have no idea where he's going. I don't think the Mongols know that he's there. Well, DJ's on the other side of the map, and he's going to try and make a play on the Daze. Daze TP'd bottom. He thought he was safe, but DJ and JG are waiting. And their patience will be rewarded, as these 2 kills will most certainly be another lane of racks going the way of the Mongols. There comes AMQ. He's got his dead list complete. And yeah, what's the plan here? DJ is looking to cancel the TP. This could be so good. Heck, they could even get a kill. They could get a kill. Watching for the hook shot. There's no hook shot. OG made it back. What have they made it back to? They made it back to a base which just has a lane of barracks standing. And DJ is making his way towards his team. He's got the overcharge, whatever you call it, the overclock rather. The rocket flares are coming through. There's the hex, and Lifestealer burst in a matter of seconds. gosh, he's dead. 9 dropping low. The crits are there from the Tiny. 9 will drop the Boundless Strike, but he's not having any impact in these fights. As Seb ends up falling, the 3 toss, well, it missed, and Daze is going to tank his lucky stars. He did manage to barely just survive. Buybacks coming out from OG, but the lead just getting bigger and bigger for the side of the Mongols. JG's got himself the Shiva's guard and an AC. Done really well for himself. Didn't go for the refund on the drums. Back at mid though. OG are smoked up. Can we get a vacuum wall and Wukongs that leads to something bigger? Actually, I think OG need to start with something small because they're really struggling to find anything on the map. 9 had the Maid Slay and the BKB. It was him with the Nullify in the previous fight, but I don't think it really bothered the Mongols too much.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The rocket flares there. Gets OG a little bit of vision. Okay, the good news for... Okay, I was going to say that the good news is that OG have vision as to where Mongols are. Vision was taken away quickly. Castaways played a near flawless game on this Lich, man. Really, 3-1 and 20. This might look easy from the outside, but he's not... he's not just been AFK in these fights, hiding or anything like that. He's actually been doing stuff. Well, I'm watching the Rockets. OG need to watch the top lane. AMQ visible. The Marcy blinks in. They want to bring down this laner. DLT does manage to get forced off. The hook shot's there. The chain frost bounces. Nowadays, BKB is wearing out and Bob gets the kill. He'll bring down the Marcy. He's moving forward into their base, looking for more turns towards 9. 9 caught by the Doom. Has got to be careful. Seb is dead and 9 will be cleaned up. Tiny's got more than enough physical damage and that's it. OG tap out. GG. Well played is called. As the Mongols do manage to claim game 1 of this best of 3 versus OG. It is still a best of 3, folks. And if OG are anything like the team they used to be, they could mount a comeback.
Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Bristleback!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Tegna!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Rebel Shaman!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Stare your death in the face.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
What's your way?
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Radiant team ban.
Shadow demon.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Okay, folks, we are back for game number 2 between OG and the Mongols. OG not really accomplishing too much in game number 1. Did have this lineup that, I mean, could have scaled, but it's just that the Mongols played a whole lot better. And now we're getting to see a completely different draft from both teams. We see a Shadow Demon, so we got a save, we got frontline with a Bristleback, we got Pangolier, which is like just sustained poke and damage, and also crowd control, reasonable chances of winning mid. On the OG side, we've got a bit of a different mix. We see the Pugna, which is again a save, and we have the Nether Ward, which is great versus most heroes on the side of the Mongols. If you're not careful on the Mueta, you can actually die with the Pierce the Veil. And if you pop it near the Nether Ward, because it does take a certain amount of mana, and if you just do not have the HP, you will end up dying. Interesting bans coming out from the Mongols. We see the Bloodseeker getting banned, we see Night Stalker getting banned, and the first couple of bans are also rather interesting. PA makes sense, one of the more broken heroes in this patch, and in general, thank God it's banned. And if you look at OG, they banned out the Morphling, which I guess is an MOQ hero, and they banned out the Bat Rider, which is a bit interesting. And yeah, they're reading this. What am I missing here? Is Safe Lane Invoker a thing? Or yeah, what am I missing?
10 seconds remaining.
Huh.
5 seconds remaining.
Anyway, Mongols, they're gonna close out with a ban on the Magnus, assuming that there is still position for an offlane Magnus, one of Seb's favorite heroes, and they're going to go back to the Lina for Bob. So it's the Lina going mid, it's the Bristleback going to the safe lane, and it's an offlane Pangolier. While OG they're looking for Seb's hero here. I do not know if Seb plays the Terrorblade. Terrorblade could definitely be considered as a position 1 or 3. But I think this is 23 Savage is going to be playing the Terrorblade, and Seb, or rather 23 Savage, will get the Dragon Knight at the end of it all. So Seb is going to be playing TB in the off lane, 9 going mid with the Primal Beast. I really like this draft. It's got more tempo from OG. It's got more crowd control. They're just beefy, tanky heroes that, you know, even the Bristleback might not enjoy fighting with all that much. It can be hard for the Lina as well. You've got the Sunder and the Life Drain. So plenty of saves. This is all around a much better draft coming out from OG, and they do have a much more of a fighting chance just on the basis of the draft to actually make a comeback in game 2. Let's see if they can, or let's see if their initial series in the Asian Dragon Series Continental Collision results in them losing 2-0. If the Mongols do manage to pull it off, it's a huge win for Southeast Asia and Southeast Asian Dota 2 fans. I can just imagine how pleased everybody's going to be that DJ is back and DJ is doing well. I've got to admit it. I'm leaning towards the OG draft here, but I can understand why the fans are just hoping that the Mongols do manage to sneak in a win. They really have to play these fights to perfection, ensuring that the Primal Beast doesn't, you know, cut across the backline, break formation, and JG is not gone for the Thunderbolt on the layer, so he hasn't got that bonus movement speed, so he's going to be really slow. He's got to be careful. He is susceptible to eating damage and, you know, just not having enough Rolling Boulder stuns coming through in the midst of these fights. So yeah, Mongols have to play these fights to perfection. Okay, we have a disconnect that gives us some time to go through the facets. I like that Shaman has the cluster clock. It's a pause for Shaman. So at least at level 1, him as well as Seb should be getting plenty of denies. And it's good to see the cluster clock, which means that we have 2 saves now. You got X Nova with the Life Drain, the Decrep, and you have the cluster clock, and you have the Sunder. So a lot of tricky layering for the side of the Mongols to navigate in these fights. Castaway has gone for the Promulgate, Bob for the Thermal Runway, Bristleback hasn't gone for the Snot Rocket, DJ hasn't gone for the respawn thingy, and the Bangalore has gone for the double jump. Okay. Yeah, and 9 with the Romp and Stomp, the Fire Dragon. Okay, so 23 Savage has gone for the one just allows him to farm. So an offlane of Muerta Pangalia, there is a possibility of them killing the Dragon Knight. It's going to be hard, but it is possible. For now though, OG, they popped a smoke. It's X Nova leading the charge. They'll immediately get control of this Watcher. The Mongols have to be careful. DJ walks under an observer ward. He's on the high ground. He sees them. He should know. He should know and he should run. And he's going to do just that. Seb though. What the hell is Seb doing? Dead shotted back into JG. Blood grenade tossed out. The double jump is there. The reflect does do a lot of damage. Look at the Bristleback. He's dropping really low. And there comes 9 with the trample. The Nether Blast committed. Another blood grenade. DLT and AOQ dropping low. And both will fall. The dead shot doesn't do all that much. It's the Nether Blast and the trample along with the reflection from the Terrorblade that gets OG not just first blood but another kill after that. 2 cores die on the side of the Mongols and GG doesn't get the bounty rune. Oh, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta sting. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 bounty runes going the way of OG eventually. Oh, this is a rough start for the Mongols. It just cannot get any worse. I kid you not. Anyway. 30 seconds in, 1,000 net worth already going the way of OG. This time around though, Bob does have no Chen to worry about, so it should be an easier matchup in lane. Pugna DK versus the Mueta and the Pangolier. While in the other side lane, we've got Shaman and, oh wow, Castaway getting 2 courier snipes. This is huge. 7 days are not going to have any regen floating their way for a while. Yeah. So this safe lane is Bristleback and Shadow Demon versus Terrorblade, Shaman. I think the Bristleback's going to be fine. I don't think there's much that 7 days can do. I guess maybe you try and kill the Bristleback early on, but yeah, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. You play with the wands, you try and lure the Bristleback and the Shadow Demon into a bad fight, but this is so hard. Every time there's going to be a shackle to try and control the Bristleback, there's always going to be a disruption. Sure, the reflection is irritating, but I don't think the Bristleback is too bothered. I wonder if anybody's going to be stacking the Mueta has a great opportunity to get stacks going. DJ. This is interesting. So the Lucky Shot and the Mueta just right-clicking a target can do a lot of damage. There is this synergy in this lane that I didn't quite catch on to earlier. It's nice to see the minus armor coming out from JG. Daze dropping low. AMQ is actually chasing, and even Seb is falling. Seb ends up dying. The disruption illusions help. Daze has the cluster Kalak, but AMQ has got one more Quill Spray, and that's a double kill for the Bristleback. Just like that, Mongols, they've equalized the scoreboard, and the Bristleback gets 2 crucial kills. A lot of reliable gold going in his favor. 9 has to resort to dragging the creep wave. Mid lane's not looking too bad right now for OG.
Radiant's middle tower is under
9 is
attack.
doing pretty okay for now. Castaway's got 10 wand charges. He's going to unblock the small camp. Seb will go farm the hard camp for now. Or rather, this pull creep wave, whatever that is. AMQ definitely had a standout performance in game 1. I think he went back for the bounty rune. Down bottom though, what can Daze really do? I mean, just deny and like get CS. There's no real kill potential to be had. So his objective is to leave the lane with levels and farm as much as he can in terms of levels, as much as he can in terms of farm. Seb also can't really play the lane in a linear manner, but over time, once he has the conjure image, he will be sending those illusions around and trying to farm as much as possible. I guess the objective is to build aura items. 4-minute water rune. Castaway there with the disruption, but Bob isn't going to connect for this. Not much that can be done. 9 bottles a rune, but more importantly, X-Nova manages to deny one. That's the difference that OG are trying to have in the mid lane with these support rotations. Down bottom, Centaur Conqueror wants to play the tournament, gets a hoof stomp on the 2 heroes. AMQ, he's got a Null Talisman and a Bracer going towards the power threads. I'd like to see where his build goes in the larger scheme of things. I wonder if it's going to be an Ags or... I'm curious, like, there is a benefit to a Pipe and a Crimson, but I guess it's the Pangolier that'll be building those items. I'm a bit undecided as to how they distribute aura items between these 2 cores. I don't know if there's a stronger timing for the Bristleback. Maybe Maybe getting Ags? Does that help? Getting an early Ags is better than getting early aura items. Oh, this is so tricky. Somebody needs to get early aura items. X-Nova. Well, he's going to get a D-ward for his troubles. It's a 6-minute power-up rune that everybody's focusing on. And DJ's made his way here. Doesn't have the boots. 10 1 charges and a healing lotus. Breaks a random tree. Down bottom. 9 with the pulverize. The disruption's there. AMQ is alive. Seb is going to try and walk slowly and painfully with no boots. Daze cutting across. Can't really get the kill. Back at mid though, we saw this in game 1 as well, that the Bob's got to be careful. The trample's there as well as the uproar. They're trying to run down this Lina. 9 doing his bit, needs a little bit of resistance, but there's no one to chip in with damage. The dead shot misses on the primal, clips onto X-Nova. And another D-ward for OG. Damn, they have dewarded both these sentries in the mid lane. And Bob's just going to make the safer play. TP into the jungle. Try and clear some of these creeps. I think he can do that. Max Dragon Slave. Yeah, he's going to get them. 9 is not going to be there in time to try and contest these stacks. In fact, they're moving top. Now, I want to remind you, they did get spotted under this observer ward. So, the Mongols know that this is coming. 9 has an amplified damage route. DJ there with the calling. Elsewhere, they find JG. They want the Pangolier. They should get him. Double jump, shield crash. Has a little bit of HP to work with. But he's shackled and he should end up falling. 9 needs a Laguna. But he's still going to die. JG does die. And the Mongols, they saw this. It was so telegraphed. But there's not much that they can do. No reaction in time. Maybe AMQ goes for the stacks. Ancients? No? Uh-oh. Daze? Try to be cheeky and get an observer ward, but I think Castaway and the others were more than ready for this. The Pangolier refills the Lina's bottle, and the Lina goes back to farming stacks. DJ gets a little bit of alone time in the bottom lane. Gets her boots up. And pushes closer to a level 6. It's X-Nova with the rotation. Seb is poking. JG, he's just gone for pure strength as of now. Is that his treads or just his boots? Seb, how's his farm looking? Level 6 on the Terrorblade. That's okay. Not too bad. Bob is doing okay for now. Switching over to net worth. It's the Dragon Knight sitting at the top of the net worth charts. I mean, 23 Savage hasn't died a single time since the beginning of this game. He's gone for the Fire Dragon. He's farming peacefully. It's Bob and 9 at a close second. And I mean, AMQ isn't doing too bad. So I don't want to say that the Mongols are really struggling in any real sense of the word. I like what the Mongols do when it comes to mid. I mean, the logical thing is to take the enemy safe lane tower, but they realize that everything plays around the power-up runes, and they just bring everybody mid. In OG, not quite sure if they wanted to spawn in the same manner. They're taking their chances on their side lanes, but you know, if you actually think about it, X-Nova and Daze have nothing really to do in these side lanes, so they might as well stay mid. What they're concerned about is just, you know, getting their levels. If X-Nova and Daze are level 6, they'll just obviously naturally be at more ease to try and help the mid lane. in between this mid duel. They're trying to get stacks going. Daze goes in with the Hex, but the disruption's there. Invis rune for 9. He should be okay. Do they get the Shaman? Laguna Blade committed. The dead shot's there. DJ with the dead shot. And Bob gets the credit for the kill. Did see JG try and jump in greedily. 9 trying to go for the creep wave. Will onslaught out of them. Things eating up in this mid lane while 23 Savage will pressure top. This is where the draft will start to make a difference in OG's favor. The Mongols, they're grouping up for the mid tower, but they're up against a Dragon Knight and a Pugna who can push very, very fast.
Middle tower has fallen.
AMQ snotting up the Terrorblade, rubbing the mucus in his eyes, and reinforcements are coming. Daze is TP'd in. The Hex is there. The Bristleback just has an Ogrex. 2 healing Lotuses. Shows his back. Tries and stands. The disruption there. Defensive. X-Nova and 23 Savage are here. They're looking for the Muerta. The Decrep, a little unfortunate. He gets the Pierce, the Veil off, but Castaway dies. DJ is looking for the TP. The Rolling Boulder comes through. He clips the Terrorblade. The Dragon Slave there. Seb dies. The Terrorblade dead. What else can OG look for? The Bristleback in the middle of nowhere. Hextop should end up dying. So it's a pause 1 for a pause 3. I don't think the Mongols are going to be too pleased about that. They did also lose their Shadow Demon. And let me assure you, they would have lost the Muerta if it wasn't for a rather untimely decrep coming up from X-Nova. JG was also really, really late to that fight. So JG is going for an Echo Saber and then an Axe. This is interesting. So no mana burn, which is weirdly helpful actually if you think about it for the team. And AMQ is going for the Axe. So nobody's building aura items. This is
Bottom tower has fallen.
very weird. So it's a Pangolier who's just been given space to farm. Hasn't farmed
Top tower
that well, but he's farming, and remains to be seen whether this build and this approach towards Pangolier has impact. He's gone for the double jump, doesn't have the Thunderbolt, so I don't know. I don't know if this is really going to cut it. DJ also hasn't been making any phenomenal plays, but he is making progress towards that Atos. That's certainly going to help. And now Mongols making very, very clear, abundantly so, that they want this top tier 1 tower. X-Nova in position to blast the creeps. Oh, DJ, that's a beautiful dead shot. They can't do anything. Maybe they can get the Nether Ward. 9, he's making his way up top as well. It's going to be at least 15 minutes before the Pangolier has his Echo Saber. What's Seb's progress looking like? Very slow. Probably 15-16 minutes for him until he gets his spy. But he's got his treads. He's got the Falcon Blade. So he's been farming. I think we'll just see more of this. Seb sitting in the lane. Illusions pushing out the lane. 23 Savage. He's popped his Elder Dragon form. It seems as if OG want to fight at this top tier 2. They've got 9 smoked up. 23 Savage goes in with the Dragon Tail. The onslaught coming through. The Pangolier, can he get away? Will he be able to roll? No, he won't. The Pulverize should almost certainly be there. And JG held in place will be brought down. It's OG moving for the 14-minute Wisdom Rune and being rewarded with kills. Clear lack of initiative on the map by Mongols as they feel as if they have no timing to work with. While OG, they've got the Mars Serpent wards, they've got the Nether Blast, the Dragon Knight. They can keep doing this. They're the ones who can dictate the tempo of this game. Are these items really going to make the difference that the Mongols were imagining? The Echo Saber on the Pangolier, the Axe Scepter on the Bristleback. I mean, Axe on Bristleback definitely, but Echo Saber on the Pangolier, I'm not convinced. He's not even going to hit it at any reasonable time. And Seb is very close to his pipe. I'm concerned for the Mongols in this game. Nine has got his blade mail. That's another issue. Bob has got to be careful. Just feels that there's so much responsibility on Castaway's shoulders to get these saves. Savage, stunned by the LSA. This might be their first kill on the Dragon Knight. The 8 hours there with the calling and the dead shot. They should find the Dragon Knight, and they will. It's Bob with the amplified damage and the Laguna Blade that gets the kill for the Mongols. Now they turn this into a push. They've got their siege creep. Timed at the 15-minute mark with their siege creep, the Mongols might be able to get another objective on the map. The glyph committed. Do OG really want to respond to this, or are they okay letting it go? Should be okay letting it go. They're getting their BKB complete on the Primal Beast. And yeah, they're getting their BKB. Okay, the Pangalier's got his Echo Saber. And he's gonna kill some creeps with the Rolling Boulder. I don't know what to make of this. It's interesting. So it's meant to be a scaling Pangolier. Pangolier is generally meant to scale, but okay. Dead shot there. AMQ okay. 9 there with the onslaught, but nobody's really catching anyone. Bob with the Axe Scepter doesn't get the LSA onto anyone. And yeah, the Mongols, they get a tier 1 tower for their troubles, but look at this, OG, they're not too bothered. They're going to move towards the Rosh Pit. 9 doesn't yet have his BKB, but this should be a quick Aegis going the way of a OG. And what do Bob and the others want to do with this? Castaway doesn't have too much. DJ's got his 8 hours. The Pangolier is still farming. I'm very, very curious to see this Pangolier's impact. Oh, what the hell? JG took the gate and went towards OG, and he's actually forcing the fight. He doesn't have the Rolling Boulder. He's bluffing, but it's working. The dead shot there cancels the shackles, and now AMQ. He's right in the middle of them. The LSA there, Seb doesn't have mana, but he's got the pipe, and he gets mana from an ally. Look at the onslaught, doing so much work. DJ drops down, and even Castaway is being focused. The Dragon Knight don't have to do all that much. He's actually being saved by the Sunder, while elsewhere 9 is zoning out the Shadow Demon. 9 going in with the onslaught yet again. Here comes the Rolling Boulder from the JG. It will clip on a 9. The LSA misses. The jump is there from the Pangolier. They will find the kill. Finally onto the Primal Beast. 23 Savage trying his best. Wants to punish this Pangolier, but he's got the Swashbuckle. Will get away. Seb there with a Metamorphosis. Has the damage. Gets the kill. The Pangolier dies, but all said and done, OG hold on to the Aegis. Oof, that was close. So they lose the Pangolier and the Muerta, but they find the Primal Beast. They should have technically also lost Castaway, but Castaway ended up surviving that fight. I think the Bristleback Ags also made a difference. Look at this. His farm's gonna go up. He's got himself the Voodoo Mask. And he's got the Bullwhip. Uh-oh. X-Nova. He's got to be careful. 8 hours there. The calling as well. They're looking for this bug now. They will have him. Nicely done by DJ. You did see the Nether Ward in action versus the Pierce the Veil. It does do a whole lot of damage. But DJ's got an Arcane Rune and he can go for this again. They're trying to zone out the Primal Beast. They are doing a fair amount of damage. But there's no one really to connect with the Bristleback. Castaway making progress towards Zadal Lens. He's nearly got it. 23 Savage has the Sanjanyasha and the Mask of Madness. He's in good fighting shape. As long as people do manage to get the stuns necessary. Okay, it's a smoke coming out from OG. Seb? Hello? Seb? In the middle of nowhere. Tries to run. Oh, that disruption. Not the best, but the dead shot's there. They'll commit the Laguna. Seb is still alive and healthy. And he's being healed up. The bristleback running through the trees will manage to get away for now. Looks to turn towards 23 Savage, shows his back and gets away. Both teams split towards the north and the south in exact opposites of the map, and they get away. But unfortunately, the Mongols, they will lose their Wisdom Rune and they will lose their Tormentor. Castaway also gets his courier sniped off elsewhere. JG's got the Echo Saber complete. He's almost got his blink. Should get a greater healing Lotus. JG's sleeping in. They could actually punish Seb. Swashbuckle does clip. The dead shot's perfect. They see the Terrorblade, but they're not going to commit. A lot of discipline coming up from the Mongols. Bob. Low on mana. Does have the reduced vision because of the Whisper of the Dread, but the extra mana and the spell amp, it's always nice. Going for the 8th or 1st over the Kaya. I like that. He does need that reach, especially versus the Pugna, the Shaman, the Terrorblade. Also, was just a nuisance with the Metamorphosis. What's he going for after the pipe? He's going for an Orchid. This is pretty nice. I mean, eventually he could go Bloodthorn, and even if he doesn't go Bloodthorn, just forcing the Lina to invest into a BKB early on is really, really good. 23 Savage pops the MOM, gets the tier 2 tower. What are Mongols looking to do on the map? OG with an advantage in terms of objectives. 17 seconds on the Aegis. JG's got the blink after his Echo Saber. He's got a greater healing Lotus as well. Okay. 23 Savage goes in, blinks up, goes for the Pangolier. Can Castaway get a save? Yes, he can. Defensive disruption, keeps the Pangolier alive and does enough to just push back OG. OG not messing about on the enemy high ground. Not when 9 is a beat far away from the rest of his team. Mongols will pop a smoke and 9, he's on the wrong side of the river. The Rolling Bull is there, but 9's got his BKB. The Purge from the Shadow Demon though is causing issues, and eventually they'll get the Primal Beast. Bob with the magic damage and the auto attack gets the kill, and now OG have to run. 40 seconds without the Primal Beast. Can the Mongols convert this to an objective? MQ. He's moving down mid. Now the Mongols aren't best at taking buildings, but they can. In the previous game, they had a tiny. This time around, they haven't got anything really. It's only if DJ scales, and I mean the Lina in some weird instance could be a damage dealer. 9 gets himself a shard, or rather steamed at the effort of getting the Torment and getting him a shard. So he's got the Rock Throw to work with. TPs are coming in from OG. They can still defend this. Maybe even deny the tower. Seb is just split pushing out top.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I sometimes feel like if Seb played the kind of offlaner that needed to be with his team, it would be a very different kind of game. He really enjoys just farming away from his team, getting aura items, coming to select fights, and doing stuff. It feels like 9 is always there with the team. Speaking of the team, they popped a smoke. They might catch DJ under this observer ward of theirs. A Mueta is a kill. Not the best. Oh, DJ is going to break the smoke. 23 Savage reads it, but DJ has to pierce the veil. There's no real follow-up. They can't really dive. There comes JG. Slows down X Nova. The dead shot there pushes back 23 Savage. But there's no further catch from the side of the Mongols. AMQ's coming to this fight with a Bloodstone. The rolling thunder coming through. JG blinks forward. He wants 23 Savage. 23 Savage doesn't have a BKB. There's the Pulverize. They want the Pangolier. They're trying to focus down on JG. They'll have him. The Pangolier dead, and with the trample, they'll find Castaway as well. AMQ running around in the fights. Finally, there's Bob with the LSA of the Dragon Slave. That's 9 deleted. Seb dropping low. Should end up falling. It's a double kill for the Bristleback. Elsewhere, 23 Savage trying to bring down DJ. DJ does manage to find the distance, but look at the shackles. Holding the BB in place, but it's still a hard kill to be had. He gets off his Bloodstone and he's healing up. The decrep and the life drain can cause troubles, but Exnova's dying, ends up dying eventually. It's a triple kill for AMQ, and 23 Savage has to TP. Daze manages to escape as well, but when the dust settles, it's 3 dead on the side of OG, with the side of Mongols only losing their Pangolier. So, in the larger scheme of things, nothing of value was lost. I mean, it feels as if OG has no answers for this Bristleback. I feel that until they get his Silver Edge on the Dragon Knight, it's going to be hard. He's going for his BKB first, which makes sense, and then the Deadless. Who builds the Silver Edge? Do they? They need a break mechanic, right? Like, a break mechanic would be so good. What's to the Bristleback? Yes? No? Castaway did tip the Pangolier in after that last fight because, well, JG went in with the Rolling Thunder, gave his life. I think that was good. That was good for the team. I mean, if the Pangolier does that, if he just goes in, eats the Pulverize, all's good. In my opinion. Bob, he's upgraded that Aether Lens into an Earth Blade. He's got the Axe complete. He's building towards his BKB. Daze really hasn't had much impact. He's got the Aether Lens and the shot. We did see a Shackles from range in the previous fight, but there's no one really to make do of that. He needs to basically just link up a little bit better with the Dragon Knight. Seb did show in the top lane, but it appears as if the Mongols have no interest in any of what OG are offering up top. JG gets that tier 1 tower on bottom. And he's picked up an ultimate orb. He's going for Lincoln Sphere, which is good versus the Sunder, the Primal Beast, and the Terrorblade. It's a pretty good item. Even versus the Shaman. I hadn't thought of it, but is there a case for a Lotus Orb? I don't know. It's working. Whatever this is, it's working. Like, I completely understand where... Like, why is that so good? I think the real difference maker was DJ, but DJ gets gone upon this time around. He's going to still stay alive, and Bob turns it around. What the heck? The Orchid not enough, and 23 Savage blinks in, gets the kill. AOMQ just showing his back to 23 Savage, while elsewhere, Mongols, they're trying to bring down Seb. Seb being kept alive, will manage to get the Sunder off. 23 Savage in another fight altogether, wants to bring down the Bristleback. AMQ, he's got the shot, he's still alive, shows his back. 23 Savage pushed to BKB, wants the Bristle, gets the kill. Castaway didn't have range, or rather the disruption was on cooldown. The Rolling Thunder casted and cancelled awkwardly as Bob has to run for dear life. What the heck was that from the Mongols? I mean, they lose the Bristleback and the Murder, but they do get the Primal Beast. It's weird. It's not ideal. I feel like there were some misplays in that fight coming out from the Mongols. Bob looking for a solo kill, doing the math. Oh, finds the Shaman, but he gets hexed instead. Oh, this could go terribly wrong for him. The Shackles are there. Seb has the Arcade. He'll silence up the Lina, who pops the head blade on herself. It just looks to TP. They have no further cancels. A free TP for the Lina, but it doesn't matter. OG elsewhere are getting an objective. This time, it's Aegis with the Roshan banner. Rosh rose, but can the side of Mongols really contest this? JG's got his Lincoln Sphere complete. He's not going to move towards his team. Seb holding the other outpost, ensuring that no one from the side of Mongols tries to sneak in and force some awkward fight near the Dire outpost. Excuse me. Savage is having a couple of inventory management issues. I guess eventually he'll get a Satanic, but for now, he's kept the Blink in the backpack. He's not going to have that instant jump, but 9 can provide it. 9's got his Blink along with his BKB. He's making progress towards his Axe. That's where the break mechanic comes from for the Bristleback. JG going in with the Rolling Boulder. They find Seb. Seb dead, deleted. Well, OG, they are playing without Seb, but they're grouping up down bottom and they're looking for an objective. 30 minutes in, like, if we just take a step back and we look at things, it's not looking too bad for either side, to be honest. If anything, the game state does slightly favor OG, and it's not because of the net worth, just because that these heroes scale better. They're going to have items that will pose problems. I mean, once the Accept is complete on 9, the Bristleback has got to be concerned. The Opro break mechanic is going to be a problem. JG up to no good. The Bristleback does connect with him. The Rolling Thunder is on cooldown. They'll just shackle the Bristleback, but Castaway there with the disruption. 23 Savage still wants to fight. Drops the Dragon Tail. He's looking towards the Bristleback. They've controlled Ammo Q. And the Lincoln Spear will buy him a little bit of time. He gets the Bloodstone off. He's getting healed though. Oh, the heals. And now they'll turn towards Seb with the Rolling Thunder. They will want this terribly. They will have him. It's the Bristleback all by himself. 23 Savage is dropping low. The Rolling Thunder does manage to cause some sort of a disruption as X-Nova cannot get any sane off. Now he turns with the Glimmer Cape, wants to heal up with the life drain, but he's been brought down. Savage loses the Aegis, turns with his BKB. The Rock Throw from the Primal does slip Castaway, so Shadow Demon is dead. There are no saves to work with. JG's dropping low. JG gets critted in the head and gets brought down. It's DJ though with the Pierce the Veil and the Pike that gets the kill onto 9. Bob turns with the head plate. Does a fair amount of damage on the Dragon Knight. Can AMQ survive long enough? He most certainly can. He'll heal up with the Bloodstone, and 23 Savage has nowhere to go. No friends by his side. Only Day is hiding in the trees, and he's going to be found as well. Bob does find him. The Shaman going nowhere. The Cluster Clock, a momentary relief, but a chicken is meant to be eaten. And feast they will as the Mongols find 5 kills and lose only 2 heroes in the process. Bob is also getting himself an amplified damage rune. Castaway now has the Blink, the Psychic Headband, and the Aether Lens. Every single item he could ask for, just so that his disruptions come through. His disruptions have been an issue, defensively and offensively as well. Seb, since the arcade, hasn't had much in terms of farm progression. He's got himself in Yasha. And now the game has turned. It's turned completely in favor of the Mongols. In fact, the game is very 50-50. It's all going to boil down to who gets the next Aegis. The third Roshan with the banner, with a little special something. Felt like AMQ needs to be deleted before he gets the Bloodstone off. And I think 9 Zag Scepter might just be that difference maker for the side of OG. The Mongols, they popped a smoke. AMQ now has the Lincoln Sphere as well. So he isn't going to get control. He's going to take 2 heroes to ensure that they control him long enough so that 23 Savage does the damage he needs to delete him when the break effect is applied upon him. It's a very specific ask, but it is possible. A nice shield rune in the river, so now amplify damage as well as a shield rune on the Lina. The Mongols most certainly want to fight with this. They do, right? Yeah, they spot 23 Savage under an observer. Castaway's got to be careful. Okay, there's Bob. Goes in. That's a fair amount of damage to 23 Savage, but there's no real pursuit. The Rolling Thunder Committee, they're looking towards X-Nova. The dead shot doesn't quite clip him. They want this Pugna. They know that without the heals, OG can't do all that much. 23 Savage forced to take the fight, goes on a DJ, but the Pierce the Veil is there. The Muerta still alive and healthy, gets the dead shot off, pushes back the Dragon Knight. The LSA clips, OG get the D-ward, X-Nova has the buyback. They'll deal with the TB illusion. AMQ survives the Shaman's initiation because of his Lincoln Sphere. Bob's got a Lincoln Sphere of his own. Oh, jeez, it's so hard for OG to just start these fights. It has to be 9 with the Onslaught. It's got to be 9. I mean, There are 3 Lincoln Spheres. There's a Shadow Demon as well. And now AMQ is running in. 2-man LSA. They'll try and burst down 23 Savage, but it's actually Daze dropping low, who'll die to the Quill Spray. Now they look towards X-Nova. It's a dieback on the Pugna as the Bristleback gets himself a double kill. The Mongols going from strength to strength, and OG just looking really clueless in these fights. I mean, the cores are definitely not talking to each other. At least that's what it feels like. Okay, 9. What can he do though? I mean, Lena's got a Lincoln Sphere. The onslaught cancel. He'll get the uproar off, but Bob doesn't care. JG's here as well with the Rolling Thunder. They'll get themselves a Primal Beast just for free. 9 had no business being there or attempting to do whatever that play was. Guys, it's 36 minutes in. Everybody has a Lincoln Sphere. There's no place to be made by yourselves for any of these cores. Not with these items. I mean, like, I don't know what 9 is really hoping for. There are 3 Lincoln Spheres. And the Mongols, without really having a hero that takes objectives, are taking objectives. You got DJ pushing out bottom. His Hurricane Pike did come in handy. He's building a Lincoln Sphere. Oh my god.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay. Guys, I have to tell you a very old story. That there used to be a time in Dota 1 when the stable patch, yes, we used to have things called stable patches, because not all patches were stable. The stable tournament patch was called 6.48b. One of the most glorious patches in the history of Dota ever. It was special, it was magical, you could jungle, you could break backdoor, there were all sorts of wonderful things that you could do. In that patch, for some reason, a lot of people played cores, and core Mirana was a thing, and a lot of people made Lincoln Spheres. But I assure you, I have never seen so many Lincoln Spheres in a game of Dota since then. Not even in my Legend pubs. There are literally 4 Lincoln Spheres on the map for the side of the Mongols. It's only Castaway that doesn't have a Lincoln Sphere. Thank God. Okay, both teams smoke. Savage, he's got the dead list complete. He's disassembled his Mask of Madness, and he's got the Satanic as well. Maybe now OG have a better fight in them. Look for Savage positioning. Seb goes in, breaks the smoke. He's got a Trickster Cloak. He'll get away. Okay, Seb sending in illusions. He'll spot Bob. Bob going further north. 23 Savage looking for the wraparound with the blink. It's all going to boil down to this Rosh fight. Who has the high ground here exactly? I mean, like Rosh and the Bristleback. They'll shoot 23 Savage with the dead shot. Nobody wants to break formation. I mean, these kind of moments really test 23 Savage and others. Like, who finds the opening? It can't be Seb on the Terrorblade. 23 Savage is moving in, but the goo is just slowing him down and making him feel all sticky and inky and wanting to take a bath. And they'll go back towards the Rosh pit. What's the play here for OG? They're cutting the creep wave? Do they need 2 heroes to do that? Can't Seb do that on his own? Am I missing something? I mean, they do have the outpost to TP back to. X-Nova's in the area, drops the Nether Ward. He's got to be careful. We'll have to see if it manages to stay alive. The Deadshot pushes back the Pugna. Rolling Thunder committed from JG, just trying to be a bit of a nuisance. Getting a little bit of vision. 9 goes, well, he does hurl the boulder. And AMQ gets his Lincoln Sphere popped. Now he's running at OG. 23 Savage blinks forward, finds Castaway. If they get the Shadow Demon, it's good. They will have him. Can they find more? AMQ is going to run down the Shaman. He's staying alive. X-Nova actually keeps him alive. And now AMQ, his BKB. He's been kind for the duration of his BKB. This is as good as it gets for the side of OG. The Lincoln Sphere popped. do know the leader and the Muerta are very, very far away from the rest of their team. The Pangolier gets held in place with the Pulverize, gets hexed as well. Can Daze get there with the Shackle? Oh, he doesn't need to. They'll find the Pangolier. These are two crucial kills. They'll trigger the Lincoln Sphere on the Bristleback, but that's it. He'll hold on to the Aegis. OG, they get 2 kills for their trouble. But Roshan's Banner, as well as, what was that special goodie this time around? Feels like it was an Ag Scepter. Wasn't this the third Roshan? I don't know.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yep. And that fight, it started on a good note for the side of OG because they could find Castaway. Oh wow, this is sneaky. OG are actually going for the Tormentor. Exnova is taking a lot of damage. He's got the Glimmer Cave. It's going to be okay for now. Is AMQ no? Well, 23 Savage gets the Tormentor. The dead shot is in there, and it seems as if OG get away with murder.
Dire
Bob?
are scanning.
He's got the greater Healing Lotus. No such thing as the greatest Healing Lotus. One would call that a cheese. But there is a greater cheese. Or whatever that is.
I'll take that.
Well, there is an assault Curious now completed for the Pangolier, so that's definitely going to help the Bristleback and the Muerta. DJ will slowly start becoming a damage dealer. He's got the stats. Like, he will do damage. I think, what could he really benefit from? He feels he needs a BKB, which does make sense. He could also get the shot. That would definitely help his case. But the Mongols, they aren't too bothered about itemization. They have the Aegis. They have a 10,000 net worth advantage. It is a somewhat minor advantage. But they're going to just try and poke at objectives with the Aegis, which is the right thing to do.
Tower is under
They'll take the last remaining outer tower for the side of OG. 23 Savage is making his way here. He's now got a Swift Blink as well. Oh, he finds Castaway. This is terrible. The Shadow Demon dying at the beginning of the fight is the worst thing that could happen to the side of the Mongols. But they get the tower 9. Well, even if he did see the Muerta, there was nothing he could do. And there's nothing they can do about this as well. 9's blink was in cooldown, so he couldn't blink in Pulverize despite the Shaman breaking the Lincoln Sphere. I think it's got to be Shaman +1, right? Like the Shaman breaks the Lincoln Sphere and somebody else follows. That is the best way of trying to jump in these fights. It's not impossible. 9 shows main. Gets pushed back with the dead shot. 4 stacks of the goo. 23 Savage has got to be careful. He's being focused by the Muerta. The Muerta, though, does get controlled by Daze. JG will try and help. DJ is dropping really, really low. DJ is going to fall. The up row there. AMQ is pushing a couple of heroes back. Does force out the BKB. But look at this. 23 Savage. He's found JG, the Pangolier. Oh, the save is there from Castaway. They'll keep the Pangolier alive while Daze and 9 will connect. They want the Shadow Demon. But 9's dropping low. He's most certainly dead. AMQ gets the kill and he looks forward for more. X-Nova turns with the life drain by AMQ. He's got the Bloodstone. X-Nova has the decrypt. He's staying alive. The dead shot doesn't connect. But most certainly, this Pugna is a goner. They don't chase him in the trees, though. They want to connect on the 23 Savage. Hexed up by the Shaman in an attempt to keep him alive. He's not going to stay alive, though. Dead, he will fall. As 2 cores die on the side of OG.
has been
And X-Nova tried his best to distract the Bristleback, but the Lina and the Pangolier were committed onto their targets. And now AMQ is walking down mid.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not in the SEA pub sense of the phrase, but It's just that this man is trying to end the game, and he is ending the game. Well, Days will shackle him and blink away. They got the AC, they're going for the tier 4. They dropped the banner. The glyph is there, but I mean, I don't know what this glyph does. Maybe pushes back the Bristleback a little while longer. They've got the Rolling Thunder. 48 seconds without the Dragon Knight. This is hard. The Mongols know it. They've controlled Days. Or the decrep there. I'll buy him a little bit of time, but the Pierce the Veil ignores the decrep as Days will end up falling. Wicked sick. The Bristleback is single-handedly forging a way for victory for this Mongols lineup. 2 buybacks coming out from the side of OG. The Roshan's banner is still there. Castaway goes in. They want X-Nova on the Pugna. The Rolling Thunder clips him, and with the jump, the double jump, they'll find him. Shackle's committed. They're looking towards DJ. DJ still alive, still healthy. Will manage to force Staff away, but the Rock Crew is there. 9 gets the kill. Bob, though, will commit the Laguna and find Seb. X-Nova on the back line trying to keep the Shaman alive. Both of them die. Both supports dead. It's only 9. 9 slowed by the Echo Saber has no thing and no option other than to turn and fight with the Onslaught. He'll get off the uproar, but he'll fall as well. 23 Savage, the last man standing for OG. What can he do? He blinks forward, drops the fireball. Now it's Bob with the damage. He'll pop his BKB, he'll bring down Castaway. He'll turn towards AMQ, shows his back, has the Bloodstone, tries to heal up. Bob's dropping low, has the Lincoln Sphere. Now turns around with the LSA towards the Dragon Knight, but the rest of the Mongols don't care. Eyes on the prize. They will bring down the Ancient as OG get 2-0'd by the Mongols in the Asian Dragon series. This has been a phenomenal showing from the Mongols.